Hey, how you doing? On our play for this week, will Marvel Rivals change the balance of power in the hero shooter market?
You
Maybe.
sound like The Rock.
Ah, you get it. Have you heard of Neverest to Everest? PlayStation has. We'll get into that. That's a weird title. Call of Duty is finally coming to Game Pass. It's happening, guys. Well, I should say Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, not the old Call of Duties, but Modern Warfare 3 coming to Game Pass. All this and more on Season 8, Episode 30 of Press X Start Gamers Digest. Take a deep breath in and out. What's up, everyone? I'm your host, DJ, a.k.a. Sexy Bad Choices, a.k.a. Hey, guys. How you doing? If you notice, there's 3, not 2 people here. I am joined by...
Oh, I'll let him
Is it
go.
me or you, Sean? Okay, well, it is your heavyweight champion from Wishnigwood, California, aka the janitor because we watch niggas, aka new mask, same task.
See what he did there.
I am Sean MF Ross.
And what does the MNF stand for?
I almost had a fight off a crackhead yesterday. More news at 11.
These are all facts.
Baltimore ain't
Guys.
changed.
It wasn't even Baltimore. It's down the street from me, which is concerning.
Apparently, DJ
Even
lives in
worse.
the fucking hood.
Turns out I was that guy with the mask on. New mask. What? Same mask. Fuck it. Whatever.
What
This
happened
is
to the
Press-
Maryland I used to love?
That goddamn Biden.
All right. This is Press X Start Gamers Digest, the video podcast that condenses the most important gaming news from this past week into an hour-long meal just for you. We're live on YouTube every Sunday when we can make it because, gosh darn it, life is hard.
Well, listening to us is easy.
Yes, it is. Don't forget, you can support us by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and the notification bell. If you are listening, we greatly appreciate you leaving us a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever podcast service you're currently tuned on. Yes, do that. And if you want, you can join us in our conversations by joining our Discord at pressx2start.com/Discord. With that all taken care of and out the way, let us jump into the gaming news. Number 1. Marvel Rivals Jeff and Thor, the new heroes added to closed beta test. This comes to us from Radio Times by way of Cole Luke. 2 first names. Love it. So as the title suggests, we have gotten 2 big updates to the Marvel Rivals closed beta, which comes in the form of Thor and Jeff, the land shark.
Jeff, the motherfucking land shark.
Bro, so as a person who has gone on record by not knowing too much about Marvel other than the stuff that I see on TV and not in comic books, looking at Marcus, the only reason why I know about Jeff the land shark, like Sean, do you know about Jeff the land shark?
I have no idea. Is he King Shark's son or something?
That's not even the right universe.
The only reason why I know about Jeff the land shark is literally because of Marvel Snap. So to see this adorable Scooby-Doo shark like thing, I'm just like, oh shit, that's awesome.
He's so cute.
So Marcus, you know about Jeff the land shark, right?
Yeah.
Of course you would. You read all the comics.
Nerd.
I've read every single comic that exists. No, like the last, I don't remember like his origins, but I know that he was in like the West Coast Avengers as like their pet, and like in gameplay, he's just the cutest thing. Like he's basically a dog. He's like a little pit bull with a shark skin on him, and it's adorable.
Yes, that is awesome. I'm about to play the trailer for it.
Do we know when they haven't announced a release date for Marvel Rivals, right?
Nope, still haven't.
No.
Okay.
But I think with how they're running the betas, and like we're gonna talk about, because Marcus, you played the actual beta, you got in, we did not. I'm not jealous, but we're gonna we're gonna have Marcus give his impressions on the actual beta itself. But it definitely seems like it's a pretty polished product. So I would imagine it's probably gonna come out later this year.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if it was actually going to be held till like Q1 of 2025. I think if it did get held off, something went wrong,
Right.
or they were scared of some other release date.
I don't see anything else big that they should be
Me
scared of.
neither. Yeah,
Or their genre. Yeah.
right.
Let me
You know, stay the fuck out of GTA 6's way.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Like next year is gonna be
Yeah,
such a crazy year.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm playing the Jeff the Land Shark trailer. Yes, this Sharko doggo is adorable. Oh, like Thor had a great trailer too. They're picking the muscular Thor, which that works. He has, I guess that's the new. Is that no? He just has armor. He doesn't have the robotic arm, right? Or the
Yeah, no, I think it's just chainmail on his arm.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, but I obviously Jeff is the real winner out of the two trailers. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for Marvel's Rivals. Marcus is actually in the beta, so I know he's excited. Plus, he is a Overwatch player. Sean, what's your hype levels for Marvel's Overwatch? Marvel Rivals.
I mean, as long as I have people to play it with, I don't really care.
Yeah.
It looks cool.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be the greatest at this. I'm not a top tier shooter player anymore, hero shooter, whatever. I just played it to have fun. I'm old.
That's fair.
Okay. We will, as I said, we will get more into it when we get to our what we've been playing section. But until then, let's jump into number 2. After Genshin Impact's explosive success, PlayStation's been collecting gacha games, and that is the truth, for PS5, like money printing Infinity Stones. Also true. This comes to us from a Games Radar. So the reason why I threw this into the docket for today was because I actually didn't know about this game at all. I thought it was actually an update to Project Mugen, which is another open world city like gotcha game that is being created by some Asian studio. And this is completely different. So I'm gonna ahead jump into the title. I'll jump into the article. So Never to Everest is the newest free-to-play gacha game from developers behind Tower of Fantasy, Hodo Studios' similarly impactish endeavor, coming to PC, PS5, and mobile. So this is the exact same setup as Genshin Impact. I'm going to play the trailer for this because the trailer looks pretty insane. And I say that in a very conservative manner. Have either of you heard about this?
So, no. I had heard of the name, but I didn't know what it was until I looked up the story to add it to our docket. And they describe it as a free to play GTA Genshin type shit.
Yes.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
hopefully this keeps my attention more than Zenless Zone Zero, because that's off my PlayStation now.
Oh, is it?
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm almost done
okay.
with the story content for Zenless Zone Zero. But like
You say, get this colorful shit off my
I love the presentation. It's just entirely
yeah.
too slow between action sequences. So it's
Yeah.
just
And there was a article about their next update, how they're going to essentially do away with most of the TV systems and actually have you in the stages as you're progressing through the story, which is what they should have done to begin with. Like
when you
really
say
and truly.
TV systems, are you talking about that mini game where like you're moving from thing to thing? I'm not even talking about that,
Yeah.
but that is slow as well.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to Honky Star Rail or whatever?
It's still going. It's still making money.
Strong. It's just once again that's a free to play turn based thing.
Yes. But yes, let's go back to this trailer because this trailer is insane and they're using literally every color they can. So this game is being described as a anime GTA to what Sean was saying. And again, it's going to be a gacha system where you're going to have these mommy characters, to put it lightly, that you're going to be rolling for. but the actual world is behind or is taking place in a giant city. It's
Mm.
built in Unreal 5, so it looks absolutely gorgeous. There's actually a gameplay trailer that's out that you can actually see the gameplay itself, and it looks exactly like Genshin. And it's like, hey man, if Genshin is making millions, billions of dollars, if that system works, build off that system. Like, if it works, don't fix it.
If it was really an anime GTA, you'd be able to punch pedestrians and get some hot chocolate.
Hey, that's just an
well,
update away.
You're
well,
right.
Marcus, you could drive in this game. There's a whole car driving system in this game.
But
So,
can you run over pedestrians?
I mean, you can try.
It remains to be seen.
Yeah. So this is interesting. Again, it's one of those things where it's like they have this presentation and then it's like, oh yeah, it's gonna be out in about never. So it's one of those things where okay, we'll see what happens. We'll give it some time. But overall, I think this first showing of it has been pretty strong. So
Yeah.
let me pause that because it's gonna keep playing. Number 3. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 is coming to Game Pass July 24th. So it already happened. I hope you're enjoying yourself. There's not too much to be said about that. Like there were speculations about when it's going to happen, and it actually did. So the players who were waiting for it to come to Game Pass, Jordan, I'm looking at you. Now you can finally play the game, I guess, or just download it to your console, although it will take up all of your space on your console.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's sort of the lead-in story to two other, I would say, bigger stories. So the first part is Activision secretly experimented on 50% of Call of Duty players by decreasing skill-based matchmaking, aka SBMM, uh, and determine players like SBMM even if they don't know it. So this comes to us from PC Gamer by way of Morgan Park. So that title pretty much describes this whole thing. If you don't remember, a couple months back at this point, there was this whole blow up about the matchmaking system in Call of Duty feeling more like like casino-esque, where it's just like it's going to have you play games. Some games you'll win, but
Mm.
then you will be put in games where it's just like, oh, this person has a cool skin, or this person is it's essentially people thought that the actual matchmaking system was way more way more driven to put you in lobbies where people are paying for or people have paid content and trying to get you to like see that content and buy that content.
Like, ooh, look
Oh,
at that. Isn't that cool? You know you
Yeah,
want it.
yeah, but
not cool
it,
enough.
but like that was never the case. There was also a thing about the game. It's like it's going to give you a win, and then it's going to be like a couple of games where you lose and you get another win, and it that will keep you basically invested in playing in the game.
Sounds like Overwatch.
Oh no. So there is this giant hubbub about the SBMM.
Yeah.
And then Activision finally responded and actually gave a pretty fleshed out document of how the matchmaking system worked. And of course, people were like, "Nah, we don't believe that." And it was still like, "Yeah, no,
I
they're
don't know
they're
about
doing
that.
this system." Yeah, yeah, and it's one of those things where it's just like I've always been on the side of the you want the skill baking matchmaking system because it is going to put you in matches that you aren't necessarily going to get completely blown out on, but like you are going to have those matches where there is a person in there that is just really good and like it's
Or they just had that awakening during that match, and
yeah, yeah, or
They
they
just locked in.
exactly,
gained their
exactly.
bankai.
Right. And it's one of those things where it's just like I guess for me, like playing like Gundam for so long, it's one of those things where I I can be the best person on my team and still get washed because it's like that's just
The match
how
wasn't good enough.
these online games work, you know? So yeah,
You're good enough to play by yourself, but not good enough to carry. Yep.
yes. No, that's true. That's true. And it's just one of the things like you can only do so much when you're getting jumped by 6 people, you know?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So this actual experiment was just one discovery of a 25-page paper covering how SBMM works in Call of
I
Duty. We're
reading all
not going
that.
to get in. Yeah, exactly. We're not going to get into all that. It's just to say that people was upset about this whole matchmaking system, and Call of Duty did the work to actually show everyone how this thing works. So the people who are still standing on this hill about how the matchmaking system actually works, they're on a hill to die on, basically. And it's just like, all right, whatever, you know, it is what it is, essentially.
They're just ashamed that
Um,
SBMM is their favorite Pornhub category.
yes, yes. And yeah. Okay.
I'm
The
sorry.
next the next thing about this whole Call of Duty stuff. Activision Blizzard is reportedly already making games with AI and quietly sold an AI generated microtransaction in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. This comes to us from a game's radar by way of oh, that's a Maryland ad. That's strange.
Hmm.
Concern. So this is an interesting one in that I've actually seen the bundle that they're talking about, and like you wouldn't be able to tell that this was AI generated, which is very scary. So, a new report from Wire paints a picture of an industry that has already quietly accepted this technology, at least in some AAA studios. Speaking to Wired, one anonymous source who once worked at the Call of Duty publisher claims that the company promised generative AI would only be used for concept art and other materials that wouldn't make their way into final game. However, the article claims that by the end of the year, Activision was already selling AI generated skins in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 via the Yokai's Wraith bundle. I'm not going to show a picture of the bundle because it's just going to be a picture of the bundle. And then another anonymous source told the site that a lot of 2D artists were laid off as part of the Microsoft's wider cuts, which left almost 2,000 employees out of the job. I think that happened at the start of actually that happened at the start of last year and this year. So I guess pick whatever year. Um, Remaining concept artists were then forced to use AI to aid their work. The source continues, and have since been made to sign up for training sessions on how to use AI tools. That's because for now, 2D art assets are easier for AI to conjure up, meaning concept artists, illustrator, graphic designers, and more jobs are all at higher risk. So this is completely fucked.
Yeah.
It's one of the biggest fears that we all talked about, we all seen coming, but it is interesting to get that take behind the scenes to see that Activision Blizzard is already doing this for
Yeah.
literally their biggest game, and they are cutting jobs and replacing those jobs with AI tools, and that's scary. Like it's I it's one of those things where now that they are under Microsoft, it's sort of Microsoft's purview to figure out how they do damage control from this, if there is even any damage control to be done. Because it's a thing of, well, if it's saving them money, if it's saving us
Yeah. They
money,
need to cut costs after
yeah,
spending
like why
$15.
would we stop this? You know?
They
And the
don't
fact
care.
that exactly, yeah, it's the fact that like it's already been proven that if you're not told the stuff is AI, you don't realize that it's AI.
I don't think people give a shit regardless. They see cool stuff and they want to buy it. It
Yeah,
is a very small minority of loud people who are affected or care about it.
yeah, yeah. It's
Unfortunately.
that, yeah, it's that thing of once it's at your front door, then it's an issue. But you're just home chilling, you don't really care too much. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what comes from this. I honestly don't expect much to change from this. I think they are going to continue pushing forward because at the end of the day, yeah, it's saving them money and making
it fits their bottom line, and
exactly.
It's Activision Blizzard. Like, it'd be shocking if some shit like this happened at like Naughty Dog or something, but it's Activision Blizzard. Come on now.
They didn't expect Activision to have much scruples to begin with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't have it sooner with Bobby Kotick.
For real.
All right. Before we jump into Overwatch 2, trying to change the game. Is it too late? Hey, listener, that was a weird transition. You know what I mean? Do us a favor, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. If you are listening, you can't see me look directly into your eyes. Just know that I'm doing that. Leave us a review. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever podcast service you're currently using. Just do that. Just leave us a review. You can say how great we are. Say how great we look, even though you can't see us. Actually, you should do that second one. I think that'd be pretty cool. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Do those 3 things. Actually, 4 things if you're going to review as well. And then give yourself a high five and a pat on the back and a pat on the butt. If you watch Deadpool vs. Wolverine, you'll know what I mean.
And a crotch grab.
Yeah. Well, do that inside, not outside, please. All right. Number 4, Overwatch 2 is trapped in a crisis of its own making. Just come to us from Kotaku by way of Alyssa.
Look how they massacred my boy.
So, yeah, I mean, we don't even need to really dig into the words of this. The thing that is on the tips of Overwatch 2 players, I should say, Marcus, they are going back to 6v6 versus making the incredible, crazy decision of changing the game to 5v5. What's your feelings on this? Like, tell us.
This, like, Overwatch 2 has been, and I say this as somebody who's logged, at this point, a comical amount of hours into Overwatch. Overwatch 2 has been such a giant failed experiment. At every turn, the things that they promised have not come to fruition.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we're going 5v5. It's free to play now. But we have story content. So be on the lookout for that. And proceeded to just not do that at all.
They have story content.
They had they had bare minimum shit and then decided to reel that shit back in real quick. The game has been there's been buffs and nerfs aplenty. There's been reworks. There's been all these things, and it hasn't really made the game better. Just flat out 5v5 has kind of made the game a little less manageable, because now there's more pressure on the tank because there's not dual tank roles. There's so much less team synergy. It's rough. And to go back to 6v6, especially this late in the game, it's one of those things where, when somebody makes a mistake that's so loud that you're almost just like, just stick to it. You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna plant your flag here, just say it with your chest and plant your feet. Yeah. So to renege on it now, it's like, brother, why did we do this in the first place? Like, they had to
figure out an easy way to justify Overwatch 2, and they're all out of ideas.
Yeah.
Well,
and so now they went back to Overwatch 1 because.
But why do you think they are going back on it now?
Because
I have an idea.
From my vantage point, it's just because, like, they're running out of options, and
Yeah.
also they're hemorrhaging player base because now they have smoke in the
Yes.
category. You
Yeah.
know, it's kind of like for all of my wrestling fans out there, it's kind of like how when AEW showed up and WWE was ass, and now WWE is doing much better because AEW told them get your shit together. You know, it's kind of like that where now we
Yeah.
have all these contenders. You know, not everyone is going to be able to like out Overwatch, but now more than ever they have competition, and
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And I think that competition being Marvel Rivals is essentially why they're like, oh shit, we need to figure our stuff out. Like,
Concord isn't
this is
down and
bad.
out yet.
Yeah. And like, I think it's one of those things where I look at Overwatch to Overwatch 2 as like the PlayStation 2 to PlayStation 3, where it's like,
Oof.
and it's like, yeah, no, you're Overwatch 1, everyone loves Overwatch 1. You'll love Overwatch 2. We're making these decisions, but it's okay. It's going to work out in the end.
And they
And
made
it's like,
cocky decisions.
yeah, and then now we have Marvel Rivals that is legitimate competition for Overwatch,
Mhm.
and it is with an IP that pretty much everybody knows. Like,
Yep.
I think there is legitimate fear in Blizzard with Overwatch 2 in that like we don't know when Marvel Rivals comes out, but when that comes out, it is going to be such a juggernaut of a title because everybody wants to at
No pun
least
intended.
try. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And then again, it could end up like a multiverses, so time will tell.
You know what?
Time.
Because I was very 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 cautious. Oh, we'll talk about Marvel Rivals when we get to that. But like that's also a possibility. But like I think it's more. Okay, we'll talk about later. Okay. So yeah, it's one of those things where with Overwatch 2, if this makes the game better, which I'm pretty sure it will, then more power to them. This, as Marcus said, this should have been something they should have done from the very beginning. So
Yeah. It's just
it's
like last thing I'll say on it is
yeah.
every decision that they made that they thought would make sense.
Hmm.
Like for Overwatch wasn't a perfect game, but like
Yeah.
at least when it came out, yeah, you bought the game. It was a complete game, and everybody had access to things.
Hmm.
You know, you didn't have to fulfill a battle pass to get access to a character. You didn't have to do all these other things. It was like a character drops, cool. Everybody's got it. Everybody has a chance.
Yeah.
You know, and like a lot of these changes ultimately did them the opposite of favors. It worked to their detriment ultimately. And I guess it's better late than never, but they shouldn't have even been in this position to begin with.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
If Overwatch
Anyway.
fails, what do you think Blizzard's next move would be?
Bankruptcy. I'm just kidding.
Oh
Thankfully,
no.
Microsoft owns the title.
Oh dear.
Got it.
But yeah, I mean, Blizzard is a studio that is extremely flexible, and I think we're seeing that with them going back to 66. I think they're going to be there for the long run. It's just these are just kind of hiccups in that. Oh my god, I just hit my mic. Hiccups in that whole timeline.
Yeah.
Number 5. No Man's Sky gets a 490%. I don't know what the hell does that even mean.
Yeah.
PS5 player boost after latest free update. You know what? Oh, this comes from some True Trophies by way of oh geez, where is it? Oh, Lee Bradley. So yeah, you know what? I'm actually part of that because I definitely downloaded No Man's Sky. I jumped in and I was like, where the fuck am I? I turned that thing off so fast.
I am convinced. Hello
Oh my
Games.
gosh.
Is it Hello Games?
Mm-hmm.
And Sean Murray are moving weight. There's no way this game should still be doing this well and they don't sell DLC.
Yeah, man.
No
It
Man's
is.
Sky is a money laundering front.
How are they still making updates this large? Like,
Yeah,
what was the cash infusion from Sony? How much copies did it? What?
I
we
think
gotta
okay. Yeah, I don't know.
we gotta get whoever fed Kendrick information on Drake. We gotta get them on the case.
Certainly, it's not
Oh my
one.
gosh. Yeah, it is an amazing tale to just see lifespan of this game and where it started versus to at right now, and it's just like it's just so crazy to see.
Yeah,
So yeah, they released okay, so No Man's Sky, oh, that was 2 years ago. They were at 10 million copies 2 years ago.
That's crazy, dude.
Jesus. I don't even know what, oh my god, yeah, that's insane. So yeah, like No Man's Sky is I'm not, if you should know what No Man's Sky is. If you don't know what No Man's Sky is, Google it. It started in a horrible mess. There was tons of memes. There was the terrible Jurassic Park theme song meme that was attached to that, and it
No, no, no.
never lived it
Greatest
down.
theme park
Right?
theme.
It was like the messed up flute playing. Yeah, but they literally clawed their way out of that and just kept climbing since, and
I
it doesn't seem like they're stopping.
I don't think I've ever seen a glow up
Yeah.
like No Man's
Oh
Sky.
man,
I don't,
yeah.
and I don't even mean just in video games. I think this might be the greatest glow up of all time.
Yes, yes. In terms of like public perception, like all of that, they literally completely 180 that. So
Hmm.
just quick couple of bullet points to just end this article. No Man's Sky's latest update, Worlds Part 1, launched on PS5 and PS4 on Wednesday, July 23rd. In its launch week, the update brought 493% player count increase on PS5 and PS4. No Man's Sky jumped from the 194th most played PS5 game to the 40th
Wow.
most player games. Yeah, like that is insane. Like that is just so insane. But yeah, again, okay, so um that part's not important. But yeah, like it's cool. It like it's really hard to really be mad at this or like criticize this in any way because it's just like this is just a studio that understands their product and just
Yeah.
keeps refining it, and props to them.
Fortunately, they
All
have
right.
not had to lay anybody off as well. So,
Yeah, yeah.
That's even crazier.
yeah.
Hmm. I
Damn.
mean, when
They
you're
was
making
working through
all
the
the money,
pandemic and didn't lay anybody off. That
well,
is
Oh
pretty impressive.
shit.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
no.
think about
that's a
it.
good point. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
that's
got
crazy.
companies that are making record profits and laying
Laying
people off.
people off.
These
Yeah.
fuckers were still working on a game that came out in
You know what,
2015,
Sean?
2016.
You know what, Sean? You might be right. They might be moving weight because
There's a part of this equation that we don't really have the answer for. All right, number 6. Capcom has no plans to stop releasing physical games. This comes to us from Game Rant by way of, ooh, my computer is, no, wait, no, this is actually the Gamer. This is not Game Rant. This is the Gamer. I got the icons mixed up. Silly me. James Throton, Throton, Troughton.
What the?
We're
What
gonna
are you
go with
looking
that.
at?
Um, so, um, publishers like Capcom are thankfully sticking with physical, even as many others in the industry toss it aside. There's a quote from them. Given that a significant number of end users demand physical games, we currently do not expect to eliminate physical products. Capcom said in an official Q&A when asked about the decreasing number of players who buy physical copies. That's pretty much the crux of this whole thing, in that they still believe that physical games are important, which they are, because there is a ton of populations who don't have strong internet and they can't sit there and download a
Yeah.
100 gigabyte game because it would literally take them a week. So it's one of those things where we're not going to see the death of physical until internet is as widely available as like water is, kind of thing.
They need to make it a utility like water instead of
Yes, private.
whatever the hell it is now. Yeah.
Right. Um, and there's another side to this about the digital sales actually bolstering the physical sales, and that's just they're able to because they're able to sell more digital copies. That is making a way of creating these physical products as well. So there's not too much to that other than like more money makes money to use money to make physical products to make more money, which makes money. Yeah, there you go. See, simple math. You know what I mean? Finance. All right. Is it finance? I don't even think it's finance.
You know what? Just you know what? Just keep.
All right. Number 7. Humble Games lays off an entire team. I really wish I did not transition into this in that way. I should have saw that coming. Jesus.
Mm.
This comes to us from Insider Gaming. This is terrible news. I apologize.
Have y'all seen Fifth Element?
Yes.
Remember that scene where where Corbin is talking to like the food guy and he's like reading. He's like, "This next thing is gonna be good news." He's like, "You are fired." Like that's the way that.
Yeah. So yeah, this comes to us from Mike Straw. Yeah, this is incredibly sad news. So Humble Games, the publisher under the Humble Bundle umbrella that is owned by IGN, has reportedly laid off its entire team. The news of Humble Game layoffs came via social media posts by senior QA Emily Kiefer. Kiefer? Um, the quote reads, "Another year, another layoff." She said, "Today is my and my entire team the last day at Humble Games." The only update to come from this is that Humble Games has said that it's not a total closure, which is like, well, if the entire
Okay.
team is gone, you got like HR left, like what? So yeah, so this sucks. It's specified in the article, but like this isn't Humble Bundle, which is the thing that a lot of people associate when they see Humble whatever, and like Humble Bundle like basically just offers you like a bunch of games, and it's kind of it's like a marketplace in a way.
Yeah.
um so yeah, this sucks. Like it's one of those things. I think 36 people were let go in this whole closure, and the hope is that they're able to find some sort of game development job that can keep them going. But
Yeah.
it's always just tough to see stuff like this happen because it's just yeah. And then to note, like, I not familiar with Humble Games in terms of games they made, but they make Wizards of Legends, which is actually one of my most played Switch games. So that was a shock. They were making a sequel to it. I don't know what's going to happen to that sequel. I guess it's not going to happen. They also made A Hat in Time, Lost Skies, and a bunch of other smaller titles. So yeah, yeah, that sucks. That's just it's terrible. To wrap up, we can just jump into a couple of quick hits. Number 8, Bethesda Game Studio is now unionized across the board, recognized by Microsoft. Um,
Mm.
yeah, that's awesome. That comes to us from GameStop. There's not too much to say other than congratulations, good job. I know I used to test for Bethesda Game Studios, so like a couple of those people are still there, and like I was testing at this point years ago. So that's awesome to them. I actually congratulated a couple of them. So that's cool. Number 9, World of Warcraft developers from wall to wall union at Blizzard at Blizzard Entertainment. So again, another union story or unionization story. So that's great. That comes to us from game developer. That's happening. I hope it just keeps happening to more studios, more
Both of them
publishers
are under
allowing for this
Microsoft's
stuff to
umbrella.
happen. Huh?
I said both of them are under Microsoft's umbrella.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think damn near all of them are probably going to unionize because Microsoft is such a big company that's under scrutiny. They can't use the normal scare tactics and prevention tactics
Yeah.
that you would see at a Amazon and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I foresee more teams under Microsoft doing this.
For
Good.
sure.
Fuck them.
Yeah, basically. All right, number 10. PlayStation 5 adds a share link feature with the latest firmware update. This comes for us from Insider Gaming. So, real quick about this. I thought this was going to be for like content,
Mhm.
and it's not that. This is okay. So I'm going to explain this a little bit. So in the latest PS5 firmware update, players now have a convenient way to invite friends and other players into their session. To do so, you open the game session action card and select share link option. Click on this will reveal a QR code that mobile devices can scan and share to the link. What the hell is like what is this? What is this? What is it supposed to
I'd have to
do?
see a video of it in action because
Like,
Yeah, it's like
did,
I
did they make
I
it
don't
more complicated?
in like what realm is this beneficial? I don't understand. Like I was so excited for this because like, oh, I could actually like you can share your videos that you can like screen cut or whatever or screen capture. No, it's to have people join your session. It's like it's just a button on the thing.
These niggas
I
hate
don't
me.
know.
Maybe this is
I
for
I miss the
Discord.
days of PS4 stability updates. Those were rock
Man,
solid.
yeah, so shout out to the like 10 people who need that feature. Or I can just be ignorant and it's like, oh, this actually uh helps me a whole lot. And I just didn't realize, oh, silly me. I should have
Or
never
can be
bad
true.
talk PlayStation.
It's not going to be that.
No,
It's
it's
not.
not. I know. I know. All right, number 11. New PS5 beta rolls out tomorrow with personalized 3D audio remote play settings. So that comes to us from PlayStation Blog. The personalized 3D audio is for the audio buffs who wants to have their setup fine tuned, which is
Yeah.
awesome. The remote play settings is basically you can set on your user's account who can access remote play and who can't. I don't
Ain't
I
nobody else
don't
doing
know
that in
who.
PlayStation.
Yeah, I was say I don't know who that really affects,
I mean, that's for
but
families with
okay.
kids who only have
Yeah,
one PlayStation in the house. I get it.
Be
yeah, but
like,
like
boy, if you get on my GTA 6, I swear to God.
but it's that thing that like only one person can remote play at the time at one time on the console. So it's like I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. And then the last quick hit is official app for PSVR 2 on PC has just been listed on Steam. This comes to us from PC Gamer. It is also noted that the adapter for this whole thing is
Mhm.
going to be sold separately August 7th for $60, and then you can do your currency translation based off of that. And that adapter effectively breaks out the box. It's a breakout box that turns a single USB-C type cable from the VR headset into the display port. It's
It's similar to the original
the original
breakout
breakout
box
box
for the
thing.
PSVR. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish them the best of luck. So that's been it for gaming news. Just don't even know, man. Before we end this, let us jump into the games we have been playing. Let's start with Marvel Rivals. Marcus, you
Yes.
have been playing a little indie game called Marvel Rivals.
Right. It's a small game. From a company that I don't think many people know about, like Marvel. They're on the rise. They got promise
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
They got
yeah.
promise.
I heard like of a Spider-Man person.
Spider Man. There's Irons Man. I don't
Yeah. Okay, interesting. A Pink Panther? No, a Black Panther, right?
Yeah.
Right?
know. Pink Panther. Could you imagine? Um, Real quick before I go into that, I do want to say that I also played the Concord beta and I wasn't
Oh
able to
yeah,
be
yeah.
here for that.
Oh yeah, right,
And
right, yeah, yeah.
having played both the Concord beta and the Marvel Rivals beta, I think Concord is probably a more technically proficient game. But I think Marvel Rivals has way more legs.
It's more accessible.
And it's more accessible. And I think that, like, as an Overwatch, that definitely fucking helps. But you don't have to just learn as you're in the match getting washed.
Yeah.
But also as an Overwatch player, those are both games that were in the kind of like quote unquote Overwatch killer discussion. And
which I think was a mistake for Concord because
I agree.
Yeah, it's not Overwatch at all.
Yeah. Concord felt a lot more to me like Call of Duty or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Whereas Overwatch, whereas Marvel Rivals, as an Overwatch player, I feel like it's a much more lateral move. Like I could definitely see people having an easier jump off point, and it's already shown because there's a lot of Overwatch content creators who are currently playing the closed beta and really loving it. So I remember going into the closed beta and there were, rumblings about the game being kind of wonky and a bit janky.
And that was my fear that I heard in one of the earlier previews that it felt clunky, and I was like, oh, that's not great.
Okay. It feels clunky in comparison to Overwatch.
Okay.
Because Overwatch is, for all its faults and issues, it's one of the smoothest games in terms of like actual verticality and fluidity of motion and whatnot. And so it's definitely a downgrade from Overwatch in that sense. So if you're weighing it on that metric,
years to polish it.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. That as well.
Yeah.
That as well.
Yeah.
So like I'm not gonna hold that against Marvel Rivals, especially because it's in beta form as well. But I wouldn't call it clunky. And I think it's a fun game to play. I have now logged enough. Yeah, I've logged enough time into it now where I've like made a solid amount of the way through the I guess season that they have within the beta. And I've played enough games where I've won a good amount of games, I've lost a good amount of games, and it seems pretty.
There's a season in the beta?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that it's like a season that's going to. Well, no, I think it's just in the beta because I think they said it like it's running from, I guess, July 23rd to August 4th. So I think it's just in the beta, and I'm imagining if you like beat that battle pass or whatever, then whatever you unlocked within the beta is going to carry over into the actual game.
That has to be coming out soon. Like if they're that far in that game, they have a whole season in the game. Like that has to be coming out soon.
Yeah, like it feels like it's about to. I feel like some shadow drop shenanigans are about to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've played enough where I think I've got a good feel for the game, and it feels pretty good. Like the game feels balanced.
Who are your favorite characters?
My favorite characters so far are Rocket, Storm.
Okay.
Loki's cool, and I want to play more with him, but Jeff the Landshark is just like he's a healer, and like as my Overwatch like roles that I usually play are support and tank, and so like sliding into the support role in Marvel Rivals has been pretty seamless for me for the most part.
Is that stuff like easily categorized? It's like, oh, these people are the support, these people are tanks, these people are DPS.
I will say that it's not as clear as it is for like Overwatch.
Okay.
thankfully, because there is a training mode in this game, and you can like look at like the hero breakdowns, like you can find out what the characters do, but in just like the actual UI, unless you've already looked it up in advance, yeah, you won't really know what role each player is.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's been a fun time. I've really enjoyed my time with Marvel Rivals. There's a good flow with the games so far. I think they actually have competitive mode available as well, which also adds to the aspect of like this game feels like there's no way they're waiting to 2025. Like, this game feels pretty fully fleshed out.
That is so interesting.
And the fact that they're dropping characters in the beta too, like, you know, this feels
like a finished product. Like,
yeah,
you're dropping actual like players that are fleshed out.
A lot of betas are just paid demos, so
exactly. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah,
you're right. So I wouldn't be surprised if like come fall that this game gets a official release date.
I wonder if it's going to be sooner than that. Like if it's going to be like end of August kind of thing. I guess end of August is fall. What am I talking about? Okay, continue.
I wouldn't say that.
Like my money is on like September at the earliest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have any like issues, like bugs or like game crashes or like the matches like lagging or stuff like that?
I haven't had any crashes.
Yeah.
Any lag, I'm pretty sure was my Wi-Fi. I don't think it was the game itself.
Okay.
I will say that the game, it's kind of slow. Like once the action starts like ramping up and whatnot, like you know, I wouldn't call it super fast paced, but it is like, okay, there's definitely a lot of engagement there. There are times, because it's third person, that is also a bit jarring of like a move from like being an Overwatch player and going into this Overwatch like game, but it's completely So there are times where I'll get lost in like where like Iron Man's like fucking pelting me from up in the air, and I'm like, oh shit, I didn't even know he was up there. I also think that the ultimates in this game aren't as striking or as like the ults in Overwatch feel like real difference makers, and there's a certain level. Once again, they've had years to put this all together and workshop and all that stuff, but like when you do your ult in Overwatch, it feels like something is happening in a real major way, where in Marvel Rivals it kind of feels just like, save for a few people, it feels just kind of like, oh, this is just a part of the battle. And then there's also like not a lot of survivability with some things. Like you get one-shotted by a lot of the damage ults in this game. Like you'll get taken out quick.
Yeah, because I was watching some gameplay of it, and like I forget who I was watching, but like they jumped in and they ran up on one of the characters, and they're like, "Oh, I'm dead." I was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
So,
You'll get taken out fast in this game if you're not careful. And what's something else? I think also they need to do better with. It's a minor thing, and it doesn't really like, I guess, enhance or detract from the game. But like, one of my favorite things about Overwatch is that when like you're in the spawn room and like, you have your sprays and whatnot, which they do have in Marvel Rivals, but there's also just a certain level of interactivity with like, I don't know, being able to say hey, or like do the little crouch dance thing, or like do an emote, and like it's a beta, so they do have emotes in the game, but it just doesn't feel as interactive. Like I would like to say like, "What's up?" to my team members, or
Yeah.
like I would like to, interact a bit more. And right now, it feels very disconnected in that way.
Okay.
And I'm sure that as time goes, that maybe they'll add stuff like that to it. But outside of that, I don't really have many gripes with the game. I think the destructible environments adds a little extra flair to it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I think the art style is really great. It's very, very aesthetically pleasing game. And yeah, it's a pretty easy game to pick up, especially if you're an Overwatch player. Like it's I think it'll definitely, as we were saying earlier, with Overwatch being in trouble, like Marvel Rivals is definitely going to be a contender for the throne of that hero shooter lane if they keep this up.
Okay. That's good to know. Like, so I guess the last question is, with all the time you spent in the beta, how would you rate it, like out of 10?
I'd say maybe like a 8.5.
Okay. Okay.
Like I think it's got, the bones are there. There's things that they could improve on, but I think they've got a good product already. And I think that if they were to drop it tomorrow, and just with the nature of these type of games, and it's free to play anyway, like there's time to turn it into a 9.5. Like there's time to put that there.
Right. Okay. And then I just did a quick little Google, and PC Gamer is predicting that the game is going to come out Q1, Q2 of 2025, and I just don't believe that. I
don't see why.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't know what would make them want to hold off at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we don't make the decision, so who knows?
Right. Okay. Well, the last thing is, Sean, you have been playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Yeah.
How are you? How are you doing with that?
How's it going? I bought this at release. When did this
I did too.
Did this come out around the same time as
I think it was February
right after Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, and that's why I didn't touch it.
Okay.
So
was that February or March, or was it?
I think it was February.
Okay.
Regardless of what it was, I can look real quick, but I was busy trying to platinum Infinite Wealth. So I did that, and then I tried to get into it, but it just takes such a long time to start up. You start out, and I don't like the slow sections in the game where they force you to slow walk.
Yeah, I hate that in any game.
This man don't have any patience. That's all I'm hearing. First Endless Zone Zero, now Final Fantasy.
It came out February 29th. So February 28th, March 1st, whatever you like to call it. But
at the tail end of Black History Month.
There are sections in the game where like you're walking through like a burning village and you're slow walking. And I'm just like, oh my god. And then you're walking around with Sephiroth and just doing things, and then he's retelling the story, and I'm just like, I don't have any connection to any of this shit. Like, I didn't play the original, so it's just like, just get me to the action. And then you get into the open world, and if you don't continue to play, I stopped a few times and tried to jump back in. I was like, I don't even remember what the fuck I was doing. So
yeah,
the monster's like, you might want to trade before you come back in here, big boy.
Yeah, so I just sat the game down for a while, and other stuff came out, Balatro, whatever I was, whatever. I will say now I do understand some of the systems in the game compared to Remake. I think with Remake, I was just kind of leveling up and powering through. This game definitely does not need as many mini games as it has.
Oh my! Look, I know that like I've been playing the game too, and I'm like 10 chapters in, and like as somebody who was like a huge fan of the OG game. Like it was the first game that as a young man, I like that was the first game I ever mainlined. Like I blew through all 4 of those discs, and to the point that my family was fed up with me. Like they were like, "Boy, if you don't come to dinner," and I'm like, "Mom, I haven't made it to a save point." And by the time I got to the last boss, I sat my family in a room and they watched me beat Sephiroth. Like it was amazing.
Yeah.
But so I got a big history with the game. And I remember playing the first maybe chapter or 2 of the game, and it was basically like it was like a playable exposition dump. And I was like, this is certainly a choice. But it was cool to kind of play with Sephiroth. But like 10 chapters into this game, oh my God, so much of this game did not. You good?
Yeah.
So much of this game did not need to be playable. Like, there are so many useless mini games in this game. And not only are they useless mini games, a good amount of them are poorly designed.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, this is a chore to do. And I don't want to be doing this.
I looked at it. There's 28 mini games.
Oh my! And it's like, for what? And like, I could see if they had like that
fantasies. What's happening?
Like, there's the golden saucer section of the game, which is like this big amusement park type place. And like, yeah, having a bunch of mini games there makes sense. But like, there's so much shit in the game where I'm just like, why are you gamifying this?
Why do
this
I have to catch Moogles to?
Exactly. I don't fucking care. And that's from a fan of the game. And I'm like, I don't fucking care about this. So yeah, it's like, I'm with you, Sean. Like, I'm enjoying the game for the most part. Like, the stuff that I care about is really singing to me, and I'm really intrigued by like where the story seems to be going, and the action still is a lot of fun to do when you're not getting absolutely trounced. But yeah.
Knocked on your ass left and right. Otherwise, I'm enjoying it. I'm gonna get through it. I'm trying to get through it before Black Myth Wukong comes out and Zelda and Astrobot and all that stuff. I highly doubt I'm gonna platinum it, but I mean, as I'm playing it right now, I'm just going to every spot that those Ubisoft towers reveal. They have literal towers that reveals the rest of the map, BJ. Like, all right, I guess. I mean, I'm just taking my time and going through that.
I will say that the open world aspect of the game, it's more expansive than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
But god damn, is the verticality in this game ass. Like, that's another
Those are scale walls.
That's another aspect of this game that feels like Square Enix needs to really like rework some of the way that they make games, because I'm like, there's no need that it should be this difficult to like scale. Like, if you're gonna put this many fucking mountains in your open world, you should be able to like have a climbing mechanic or some sort of shit. And it's like, no, we need to put this portion of the game here so that you can use the chocobo. And I'm like, you don't need to do this, Square.
Well, I think
it doesn't have to be this way.
One of the directors said he hopes that new blood comes in to revitalize Final Fantasy.
I hope so too. Like, I hope so. Because goddamn,
it is what it is. I mean, I guess I like this style of RPG versus the choose your own adventure that is Baldur's Gate. I tried to play that.
Okay.
It was just a lot for me. So
yeah.
Sounds like a weak Weenie Hut Junior ass now.
But yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that has been it for what we've been playing, and that has been it for the Press X to Start Gamers Digest podcast. We hope you enjoyed this podcast as much as we enjoyed making it. Don't forget, you can support us by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and the notification bell. Don't forget, you can like this video. What? Did I just say that? I just said that. Oh my God. Am I in a parallel dimension right now? Anyways, don't forget, you can review this podcast if you are listening on your Spotify's, on your Apple Music's, on your YouTube Music, whatever podcast service you're currently tuned in on. We greatly appreciate anything and everything you do for us, except for when you don't comment on our videos. Do it.
Right.
Do it.
Yes, and that too. Come on. We're watching. We're waiting. We're hungry. No, not really. Actually, I am kind of hungry right now. I need to eat breakfast. Or at lunch at this point. Anyways, you take care. You be safe. You keep playing games. And have a great rest of your day, night, evening, universe, wherever you are, wherever you're listening to this. You know,
Whatever.
have a good one.
Peace.
Boop, boop, boop. Is this episode 30?
Yes, it
Yep.
is.
Episode 30. What happened, DJ?
My audio stopped like 4 minutes ago for some weird reason. Whatever.
We've had enough of you.
Right? Shut your shit up. Like, okay, God.